Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the Real Bros Podcast. I am your host, Logan Thomas. With me, as always, is my most excellent co host,
Caden Green.
and together we are
The Real Bros.
Oh, yeah. Back for another episode.
This time, it's a new series. Yeah.
Yeah. Diving into the MonsterVerse.
Legendary MonsterVerse. This is actually canonically the first movie in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Not the first movie released. And this is the only movie from Legendary I have not seen yet.
And today we're talking about Kong Skull Island.
Yes, sir.
From 2017. So, what are your initial thoughts as having witnessed this film for the first time?
I really liked it, honestly. For an introduction to the legendary MonsterVerse, I feel like it did a very good job.
I feel like I understand how it can play as a sequel, but like the things that they were setting up for later films, I like how if you watch it first, it makes it feel more like they were seeding things instead of like, ooh, we got someone for the next movie, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it feels like it's much more of a natural first film.
Oh, absolutely.
Than a second film.
It also makes sense as a first film because of when it takes place.
Yes. I would say this is stylistically the most visual pleasing film.
Oh, yeah.
In the MonsterVerse. Like, don't get me wrong, I love how they all look, but there's just something about this one. Chef's kiss. The director of this film, I've never heard of him before, but I don't know what else he's done. But he hasn't done any other MonsterVerse products. But yeah, this guy did a heck of a job making this movie. Anything you want to talk about before we get into the quick review?
There's a lot of characters.
Yeah. I had to make like a graph of the different teams that's in this movie.
Realistically, there's like 8 named characters.
Yeah. There's
maybe a couple more here or there.
There's like I would say 3 to 5 main characters, and the rest are just like side B-list characters. You don't have to know their names,
but for simplicity of this episode, it'll help.
Yeah.
Because we're not just going to be like, oh yeah, backdrop character 1 and backdrop character 2 through 7.
Like Soldier A and Soldier B befriending, bro.
Like, yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, no, we took the time for you people and we wrote down names.
Kind of.
I wrote down names for you people.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I have a lot of names wrote down.
Oh my gosh.
But
there's one character I forgot to write down her name, and I was like, oh, that's right. She's a part of this movie, even though she does nothing in it.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's right. She does have a name. So I ran back and filled her name in just random spots.
Yeah, I don't have her down. Because she was in like 4 scenes.
She had maybe 5 lines. I'm pretty sure. Oh, but yeah. All right, guys. Caden, are you ready to take us through your quick review?
Yes, sir.
Take her away.
All right. So, the movie we're going to be talking about is Kong Skull Island. And you said this came out in 2017?
Yes.
Okay. So, and it follows a Monarch representative, Bill... I have the name. No, I don't.
Bill Randa.
Bill Randor. Randor?
Randa.
Let me restart. Kong Skull Island follows Monarch representative Bill Randa as he goes up to the senator to request a military escort for a geological expedition of the island, Skull Island. In doing so, him and the other military members end up waking up and enraging Kong.
And that's pretty much all we can talk about till we get to the spoiler part.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's that literally is just the plot of the movie. Everything else is just Survivor happenstance.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad this movie's kind of simple like that. But, like, it also, this at its core is a war movie with the backdrop of King Kong.
Mm-hmm.
That is, like, the most simple way to explain what this movie is.
Yeah.
It does some world building for the MonsterVerse and Monarch, but it doesn't make it as apparent as, like, later Godzilla movies do.
Right.
Whereas, like, it's trying to lift up, like, Avengers level stuff. But, like, this is just like a nice little, hey, there's a big old monkey over here on an island of monsters.
Big monsters.
Big monsters. And there might be a big lizard out there. We don't know. There could be. I don't know.
We're not gonna tell.
Shh. But yeah, it's very much a simple, isolated movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of like why I like it some of the most. Because, like, I do love all the MonsterVerse movies.
Oh.
They do get kind of repetitive
Yeah.
after a while.
Yes and no. I just mostly watch them for the big monster fights.
But, like, I was talking to you about this. It's funny because this one has the best human stuff
Mm-hmm.
in all of them. Apart from maybe 2014 Godzilla. Apart from that.
See, real quick, what I think they did is when they released the 2014 Godzilla, they realized they're like, oh shoot, a lot of people don't like the genuine lack of monsters. Let's put our new cast on an island full of them.
Well, because, like, and I'm excited to talk about that next week with Godzilla 2014.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I know for a fact that Gareth Edwards, who directed it, he wanted to not hardly show Godzilla because he wanted, like, I don't know how I want to word it, but he wanted, like,
This
the aura,
mystical
almost. Yes.
energy.
He wanted to be like, I want to make a big monster movie without having monsters in it.
Yeah, that choice was really, really dumb.
And that's why most of the Godzilla stuff takes place at night.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can't say if that's for VFX reasons, if that made it easier.
Oh, I can tell during the raining part, that absolutely made it easier.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely tell there's a jump from 2014 to this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very glad they took the direction they went in.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else you want to add before we head to production tales?
No, ma'am.
Oh. Fine, I'll get you the girl co-host in here. So we have the real sibling show over here.
Just get on with it.
Thank you.
I only understood like 3 words of that.
Fair enough. In 2013, Peter Jackson, who directed the 2005 remake of King Kong,
Okay.
initially handpicked Adam Wingard, who we will come to know as a household name in this franchise, to direct Skull Island, a sequel to Jackson's initial film. Jackson later suggested Guillermo del Toro upon the film transitioning studios. Wingard and Jackson were dropped from the project, while producer Mary Parent remained on board. The film was officially announced by Legendary Pictures at the 2014 San Diego Comic-Con, and Universal Pictures was the distributor. Legendary then moved the project to Warner Brothers to develop a crossover featuring Kong and Godzilla, which is a lot of the reasons they did things to this movie. Legendary offered Joe Cornish the job of directing the film. In September 2014, the studio announced that Jordan Vogt Roberts would direct the film. In 2016, the then newly launched Tencent Pictures provided financial support to the film. but the China-based studio did not produce the project. So yeah, this movie pretty much came out of success of Godzilla 2014. This 2014 was not meant to be a larger universe film.
No. Like, initially, you can see it being only a standalone movie.
And like when they first shot it, I guarantee you they didn't have that in mind. But like there is a post-credit scene at the end of 2014 that teases Kong, but like I feel like that was added later in production. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like the way that I don't know. The way that whole movie is structured, it doesn't feel like it's trying to start a universe. I mean, you could kind of say it is, but the implications aren't there, I wouldn't say.
I mean, look at the Incredible Hulk movie. By no means was that supposed to be the start of one of the biggest movie franchises ever.
Iron Man was their first one. Incredible Hulk came out a year later.
Did it really?
Yeah.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, you were lying
I
to me.
am not lying.
No, I refuse to believe that.
Iron Man is the first MCU film.
No, hold on.
While
you keep talking.
The script had some screenwriters attached before filming, seeking continuity between the King Kong and Godzilla worlds. Max Borenstein, writer of 2014's Godzilla, wrote the first draft, while John Gatins was hired to write the second draft. In writing the script, Borenstein did not want to repeat the Beauty and the Beast plot synonymous with King Kong movies, and took into the account the outdated elements of the treatment of the island natives and the damsel in distress. His initial influence was Apocalypse Now, revealing what popped into my head for the paradigm of the movie was Apocalypse Now. That's obviously a war movie, but I like the idea of people moving upriver to face a misunderstood force that they think of as a villain. But ultimately, they come to realize it is much more complicated. Before Vought Roberts signed on as director, Bornstein thought of having the film begin during the Vietnam War and jump forward to the present day. After Legendary rejected it, Bornstein instead had the film take place before the original King Kong film in 1917 during World War I, while keeping the Apocalypse Now concept. The premise had Tom Hiddleston's character leading a rescue team to Skull Island to find his missing brother, who got stranded there while searching for a Titan serum, believed to cure all illnesses after this. Bornstein again retooled the story to take place in the present day. Go ahead.
By 1 month. Not even. Not even a full month. So I can kind of be excused there. I was 5 when both of those movies came out.
So, like, the thing is...
It's clobbering time.
No, it's not. That was before Disney had everything.
Mhm.
So, like, Paramount did Iron Man, and Universal did Hulk. Iron Man showing up in the end of Incredible Hulk was the first real time another studio let another studio use a character that they owned. Like, yeah, it was Marvel Studios at that point, but they weren't like some parent company. That was just Kevin Feige's little studio that he made after he did the X-Men films. So,
well, you were right. My hat's off to you. Congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Get back to reading.
Thank you.
Yeah.
After Jordan Vought Roberts joined the project, he met with Bornstein. Liking the Apocalypse Now concept, Vought Roberts pitched it to Legendary with the story taking place at the end of Vietnam, which the studio accepted. It was later revealed that Dan Gilroy had also collaborated with Bornstein Gatton's draft. In August of 2015, it was confirmed that Derek Connolly also doing script rewrites. Bornstein worked on a final pass of the screenplay before shooting began and credited the script to all the writers, saying it was definitely collaborative in terms of what's on the screen. Though none of us worked together, there are pieces of my work in there as well as work of the other two writers and John Gatins, who was credited for the story. Everybody had a really good hand in it. Gilroy revealed that many backstories and character moments were dropped from his draft, specifically for Mason Weaver and James Conrad's characters, feeling that the film had more room to explore them. Gilroy disclosed Bree's character was someone who was really war weary and had taken photographs for far too long. She didn't believe in anything. So the first time she saw Kong, it was like an awakening. She comes back to life. Tom Hiddleston's character was a guy whose unit had been attacked by a big monster out of Vietnam. So he was in search of this thing. Instead of them approaching him at the bar and giving him a job, I had him like, I want on board. I like those characters a lot. But they didn't want to go with that. Despite these ideas being dropped, Gilroy felt the film turned out to be a good movie, quote unquote. Regardless, in April of 2016, artist Joe DeVito sued producers of the movie for using elements of his Skull Island universe, which he claimed he created and the producers used without permission. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse
Bless
me. You.
Yeah.
Principal photography on the film began on October 19th of 2015 and concluded on March 18th, 2016. Filming took place in northern portions of Vietnam, including I'm gonna no,
Monfinchi Kabbalah English.
I don't know it. I'm going to butcher so many of these names.
Okay.
Right?
I'm ready.
Including
Okay.
Trang An,
Okay.
Vian Long,
Okay.
Tam Kok, the Ninh Binh province,
Okay.
Ha Long Bay,
Okay.
the Quan Ninh province, and the entrance of the Tu Lan Caves system.
Okay.
The Tan Hoa Trung Hoa village, the
Okay.
Minh Hoa district,
Okay.
Quang Binh province,
Okay.
with the help of the creative company in Vietnam and Nicholas Simon as line producer.
Okay.
That was rough.
Yeah.
And now I put out my public service statement of saying I'm sorry. I don't have anything against the people of Vietnam. I'm sorry I mispronounced your places. I'm stupid American. I can't say other nations' words. I can barely speak English. Filming also took place on the island of Oahu in Hawaii,
Okay.
with Renee Confair as production supervisor.
Okay.
In Australia's Gold Coast, with Jennifer Cornwell as the production manager for the unit.
Okay.
Locations included Honolulu's Chinatown
Okay.
and the Koaloa Ranch
Okay.
in the Waikane Valley.
Okay.
In mid-January 2016, filming started on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
They had there's a whole thing on character design.
Okay.
That was like a whole page. I didn't really want to do character design. But there's not really much to say about the character design.
Okay.
The VFX in this movie are amazing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there's anything that I would think need be fixed by any means.
No.
I do think that as the movies go on, it gets better,
Mm-hmm.
but they're pretty good. All right, Caden, it's time for your favorite game show. Today's
586 million.
Is that your guess?
That is my first guess.
Okay. Just hold on to that. The production budget of this movie was 185 million even.
Okay.
You said 586?
0.2.
0.2.
Yes.
Okay. There is no point number.
586.
Okay. You are close.
Higher or lower?
Lower, but
But
you are within the 100th million. So you need to stay at 5 million something. Let me say
532.
too low.
555. Final guess.
A little bit higher.
Nope. 555.1. Final guess.
568.
This game's rigged.
This is the closest you have been on a first guess.
Because what was my first guess? 586?
Yes. That's why I made the face I made. I was like,
Oh.
like, just switch the numbers around, dude. You're so close. But your consolation prize, 1 penny. Don't disparage, young one.
Don't use big words on me.
Domestically, it made 168 million,
Okay.
and foreign, it made 400,600,000.
Okay.
So yeah, it made his money back.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think there's been any MonsterVerse movie that's taken a loss.
We don't know yet.
I think the one that came closest to a loss, I think, was...
We don't know yet.
Okay. Sorry.
We'll get there when we get there.
We get there when we get there.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, I need to grab my book.
Yeah, your rage quitting jinxed everything.
Oh, no. So when I threw my book, I didn't have the bookmark in place. So give me a minute.
While
Nope.
he's doing that, I'm going to take this time. Here's your spoiler warning, everybody.
Oh, I found it.
Nice. But no, this is the time. Stop the podcast. Watch the movie if you haven't seen it already.
Grab a drink, grab a snack, go watch the movie, come back to the podcast with another drink and another snack.
Preferably popcorn to both.
No.
Oh, well. I'd eat popcorn to both. But yeah, so join us back when you're ready. Caden, we ready to go?
Oh, I bent my book. Dang it. Why'd you make me do this?
You have to control your anger on the game show.
I'm going to throw the book at you next.
Fair enough. It's like Sean Connery on SNL Jeopardy. Shuck it, Trebek.
I don't know.
You're too young.
Yeah.
All right, guys. The movie starts. Sorry. I need to do better. You're right.
On a far-off island over the South Pacific in 1944, during the Vietnam War, 2 fighter pilots are engaged in a deathly dogfight.
You mean World War II?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was doing so good, but most of the movie takes place during the end of the Vietnam War. Look, I'm not good with stuff like that, all right? But I was doing good on the open.
I can just imagine people's faces. 1944 during Vietnam. Huh?
Yeah. But hey, I got you started for the opening.
Where'd you leave off?
South Pacific, 1944. 2 pilots are engaged in a dogfight to the death. Both planes end up going down, and it's resolved in a shootout.
And there's an American pilot and a Japanese pilot. And they chase each other through the jungle. And they engage in hand-to-hand combat.
Blade to hand.
Blade to hand. and it is not fun to watch
Mm-mm.
because as you know, samurai swords.
Are very sharp.
I don't know how he kept his fingers, but he did a great job at it.
Oh, absolutely.
But no, as the Japanese soldier, uh,
Gets the upper hand.
a gigantic hand comes out of the canyon that they're standing by, and we get a big old monkey,
Yeah.
and and I like this shot they use, how it goes into Kong's eye,
Mm-hmm.
and it like looks like an eclipsed sun. And so that's where we get the title card.
Kong, Skull Island.
And we get, and so the thing with the Monsterverse, we get this opening credits that are very much news, real footage
Mm-hmm.
of world events. So it takes us from 1944 all the way up to 1973.
During the Vietnam War.
Yes.
Yay!
Um,
Like I said, that is my fault. Most of the movie took place like 2 days after the war.
yes. In those clips, we do see some footage of potentially a big lizard nuclear test, perhaps. Find out in the next movie.
Maybe.
um, but no, they have called the end of the war, and Bill Randa and Mr. Brooks. We don't really learn his first name, do we?
No, maybe.
I,
I wasn't paying much attention.
either way, Bill Randa and Brooks are representatives for Monarch.
Yep.
And they are visiting Senator Willis, and
Mhm.
they're trying to get, and they show that because of specific climate reasons, I forget, the satellite showed Skull Island,
Mm-hmm.
and it is surrounded by an impenetrable hurricane. And they are like, dude, there could be things on this island that could cure cancer, anything. We don't know yet. We need to get there before the Russians do. And then the senator is like, gotcha. And Bill Randa is like, by the way, can I get a military escort?
Sure.
If it'll shut you up, sure. That's genuinely how the conversation goes.
Yeah.
Truman, and we learned that President Truman founded Monarch in 1946.
Mhm.
And then it cuts to Vietnam, and we meet Colonel Packard, who is played by Sam Jackson.
And Bill Randa is played by John Goodman.
Yes. Everybody else in this movie are pretty much unknowns except for Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson,
Mm-hmm.
I would say. I know and John C. Reilly, of course, as Hank, the crazy guy with the sword, guy from Step Brothers.
I had his name down, I thought. Hold on. You know, we'll get there when we get there.
We deal. And we meet Colonel Packard and Jack Chapman, and they are a helicopter squadron. And Caden, how would you describe Colonel Packard? Because like I don't want to make it sound like he is a bad person.
He's very obsessed with the war.
He's very, he thinks that we abandoned the war,
Mm-hmm.
and he thinks that it shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
So he's very much like, I need one more mission. So like there's something definitely wrong up here. But yeah. And so Colonel Packer gets a call and say, hey, you want to go out on one last mission before you go home? And they're like, it's for a thing called Landsat. And he's like, you got it, sir. We're in. And then we meet Conrad, who's played by Tom Hiddleston. And he is employed by Randa and Brooks as a tracker.
Mm-hmm.
Then we meet Mason Weaver, who is a war photographer.
And she is played by Brie Larson.
Mm-hmm. And we're on the carrier boat
Now, what we do need to mention real quick is
Mhm.
there are 4 other named soldiers.
But we don't really get to them being like real characters until later on in the film.
I
They're
technically,
characters, but I would say they don't start doing things important until after the first encounter,
mm,
because that's really when the story just like kicks in.
yeah,
Because like everything we've talked about is like the first half hour of the movie. The first act of this movie is incredibly fast because it tries to get you to big monkey action as fast as it can.
it feels incredibly fast, but sometimes it feels slow.
Yeah, because it's definitely trying to get you used to the characters because all of these are original characters.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're on the boat with the helicopters, and we learn that the island is surrounded by a storm,
Mm-hmm.
and we learn that we are going to be dropping seismic charges to be getting it a geographical reading.
Mm-hmm.
And so after this meeting, we cut to a photo montage, one of many in this movie.
Which I really like
I
those.
do, and by the way, the music in this movie, top notch. It is all like anti-war, early 70s, late 60s rock.
Yeah.
So it's essentially Fortunate Son on repeat, but it is different songs, but that's essentially the vibe.
Wait, is it Fortunate or Fortune?
Fortunate.
Isn't Fortunate Son like the war song that a lot of people think of?
Mm-hmm. Because it's about about a kid who gets drafted and a senator's son who doesn't.
Mm.
So, yeah. Um, and this starts, and here we get our first Dear Billy. Dear Billy is a running joke in this. In this, when I say joke, it's a running gag throughout this movie. Jack Chapman is writing a letter to his son, and it says, "Dear Billy," and all the guys, whenever they come up with something they don't like or whatever, they're like, "Dear Billy, this sucks." It's essentially like the kind of vibe it is.
And the first note was pretty much, "Dear Billy, I'm sorry I missed your most recent birthday. I know I said I'd be home, but I got called back for one last thing."
And like, I'm a terrible father, and you should be better
Yeah.
than me, or something like that. And Chapman's like, "That's too short, man." So like the brotherhood in these characters is real, and they play it as such.
Oh, absolutely.
Then we meet Nieves and Woodward, who are the representatives of Landsat. All the other Landsat members are pretty much unknown. They're just cannon fodder, camera fodder, really.
Yeah.
Then we have the choppers heading into the storm. Cool CGI.
Oh, this entire sequence is magnificent. From the lineup of the helicopters
The lightning
heading
cracks.
heading into the storm, the lightning cracks as they all kind of separate, and I love um hold on, I keep forgetting his name.
Packard.
Packard. I love Packard's telling or retelling of the story of Icarus
Oh yeah.
because he's trying to warn him, don't go too high, but if you do, doesn't matter. We have steel from Pennsylvania that won't melt like Icarus wings.
Yeah. And there is a callback to Jurassic Park in this movie
Mm-hmm.
where Samuel L. Jackson says, "Hold on to your butts," like he did in Jurassic Park. Did that one sound like
No.
Woody Harrelson?
No.
Who that sound like?
Nobody.
Oh, okay, good. um, the Landsat people set up their computers,
Mm-hmm.
and we drop the charges. We learn that the bedrock of this island is hollow.
Hollow?
Hollow. What on earth could that mean, Caden?
On or in?
I don't know.
I don't either. I don't know what compelled me to say that. Sorry, guys.
It's the improv thing.
Yeah.
um, but then there's one of the choppers is flying and it takes a tree to the face.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how sudden this is because like I said, this is shot essentially as a war movie. So like things happen so fast, and some of these things are just so relentless.
And when we say flew into a tree or was the tree was launched at the helicopter. They didn't just kind of veer off course. No, it was ripped out of the ground and threw at them.
Caden, what could do such a thing?
Big monkey.
Big monkey go ooh ooh ooh.
Specifically though, Kong.
Yes. And we get an entire sequence of Kong taking down helicopters.
And this is a really cool sequence as well.
Like, and I can't say this enough. The cinematography in this movie is off the freaking charts.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they used angles, the way they used uh, gradient, and
Mm-hmm.
like how like the chromatic vibe of the camera and like the edges or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is so freaking beautiful. Sorry, I had to go
All good.
there. But he takes down all the helicopters.
Minus. Well, no, you're right. Never mind.
All of them get destroyed except for 3. And then this is where we get our 3 teams that we're going to be talking about here soon. The first team of survivors is Conrad's team,
Mm-hmm.
and that consists of Mason Weaver,
Mm-hmm.
Slivko,
Love Slivko.
Brooks, Nieves, and Sandlin. Then we have Chapman, who is a sole survivor of his plane,
Mm-hmm.
and his plane is called the Sea Stallion, and that is a major story plot point later on in the film. Then we have Packard's team, who is Reles, Mills, Cole, Randa, and Woodward.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get Packard versus Randa.
Because Packard realizes Randa knows something that he isn't telling everybody else.
And he realizes that Randa knew big monsters existed.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when we are introduced to the Hollow Earth theory from Brooks. Because it's like, man, I didn't think this was real. My theory was a paper, man. But then Randa like hired me and he thought it was right.
Yeah.
But now he knows he's right. Which is a major effect later on in different MonsterVerse movies.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get a big old yak.
Water yak.
You love this thing.
I do.
Because it's almost like a
Big puppy.
yeah, almost. And there's so many just little throwaway scenes like this in the movie, and I love it because you get to see.
You get to feel the environment.
Yeah, and I do love how much time they took. Which like, hey, you are in an island of monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Breathe it all in.
Maybe don't.
If it doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
But Packard's team is walking through some bamboo trees,
Mm.
and we learn that not all of those are trees.
No. No, this is our first real official monster fight scene without the helicopters. And let me be the first to introduce you to the bamboo-legged crab spider, which is what I'm calling it.
I just wrote Big Spider, so good on you for coming up with a cool name.
This is at least a 20-meter leg or 20-meter tall massive spider that uses its legs as razor sharp bamboo to spear its prey.
Mm-hmm.
And it does
this thing is
just
terrifying.
that.
This thing is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And
I hate it.
yeah. But like I said, war movie. So there's a lot of action in this. Then we switch over to Conrad's team and we see some stone structures. And we get to meet the Iwis,
Yes.
who are the natives of the island.
Yes.
And we meet Hank Marlowe. Hank Marlowe is the American soldier we met in the opening of the film.
Correct.
He's been there the entire time. He's
What
played
was
by
it? 36 years? 38?
something like that.
I think it was like 36 years, 9 months,
28 years. 28 years.
28.
28 years.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, he outlived his Japanese friend. His name Genshin, or he only mentions his name like once or twice.
Twice, but it wasn't Genshin.
Either way, they became friends.
Yes.
But no, they all go back to their fortress, and Chapman is washing off in a pond,
Mm-hmm.
get the blood off him. Caden, take this part because you love this part.
So, Chapman's washing off all the blood from his face in not a pond, a river. Stinky. Get it right. But
Sorry.
as Chapman looks up, he sees Kong, kind of just stumbling towards where Chapman's currently at. So Chapman goes to hide behind a rock, and he sees Kong's washing himself off from the dried blood from where several helicopter blades had dug into his hand and his arm.
I do like how they try to humanize Kong like this
Mm-hmm.
by making him like, oh, I'm hurt. I need to wash myself.
Mm-hmm.
I do like how they show that he is not the monster of the movie.
But he's also using it to drink. And Kong pokes at the water before drinking it, doesn't see anything, so he goes to drink it, and then lunges into the water and pulls out a massive squid.
With like 12 arms.
Mm-hmm. And I brought this up to Logan. I'm like, if Chapman,
Chapman.
if Chapman had taken 3 steps further, he would have been chow for that octopus.
Oh, yeah.
But Kong absolutely demolishes this squid with little threat.
And then eats at some of its arms like they're noodles.
He actually brings the rest of it with him.
Yeah.
So,
Gotta get that protein to stay fit.
oh yeah.
But we're in the Iwi's fortress, and we have, and Hank shows the survivors the shrine to Kong.
Mm-hmm.
And we get his backstory about about Kong's parents were the defenders of this island from beings called skull crawlers.
That's not their official name. That's what what's his name called him.
Hank.
Yep.
And he's like, it sounds cool. So I'm calling him that.
Yeah. It is cool.
But he learned that there's a big skull crawler,
Mm-hmm.
and it killed both of Kong's parents.
Yes.
So Kong's presence keeps them at bay and
Mhm.
lets the Iwis survive. And then and so it cuts back to Packard's team, and it shows because Packard is on this dead set mission to find Chapman and the Sea Stallion and use the ammunition that's on the stallion to kill Kong.
Yes.
And the guys are starting to lose faith in that because it's like, dude, is this really what we need to be worried about right now?
Because at this point, that's all Packard can think about is
Killing Kong.
not even saving Chapman. It's just killing Kong.
Yeah. That cuts back to Conrad, and we see the Gray Fox, a boat,
A float.
a float made out of pieces of both Hank and
His buddies.
his
plane.
buddy's planes. And
I love it. It shouldn't work. It's a mechanic's nightmare, and it looks horrible, but I love it.
pretty much. Then we get another picture montage with the Iwis,
Mhm.
with more 70s hippie music, anti-war music. And then we see, and Mason tries to save the yak from a downed helicopter.
Mhm.
And Kong saves it.
Which, that's got to be a different yak.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a different yak, but it's nice to think about it.
Think about it as the same
Mhm.
yak. And what I love about this scene is that when Kong saves the water yak or whatever, he doesn't attack Mason because he saw that she was trying to save
Mhm.
the yak as well.
Yeah.
So he's just like, all right, cool, whatever, I'm going away.
Thanks for the help, young one. um,
As she couldn't even move in an inch.
you were there for moral support.
But the people that made this movie really put dedication into it, because if you paid close attention, when Kong lifts the helicopter, you can see that the yak's neck had been cut.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of subtle details like that, and I just
Hmm.
love it.
Yeah. And then cuts back to Packard's team,
Hmm.
and we see a gigantic bloody handprint on one of the cliffs. And Packard's like, "We did this. We can kill it. Keep the faith, boys." I don't keep the
No.
faith. um, and it cuts back to Conrad. Like this part is the longest because it's just cutting back and forth.
Yeah.
Um, but Conrad is catching Hank up on the events of the world, and he's asking about sports, and he's asking about all this other kinds of stuff. And it's just him and Slivko have the greatest chemistry
Hmm.
because it's just old blood, young blood, and they're just like, "Come on, man, you're old. Get over it."
And I love how Slivko at this point is just calling him a time traveler.
Yeah. Um. mm,
Chapman. This actually happened after the Chapman incident.
Did it?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Do you want me to take this, or do you want to take it?
I'll let you take it.
So Chapman is put his stuff on a tree,
Hmm.
and he is trying to radio for help again. And he realizes he's sitting on a gigantic tree bug.
It's very reminiscent to a stick bug.
Mm-hmm.
I call it a log bug.
But he shoots it, it runs away, and then Chapman is killed by a skull crawler.
Yeah. Which originally, before the Skullcrawler, I was thinking, like, why is the bug running away?
Yeah.
Realistically, we know that those bullets really don't hurt
Mm-hmm.
those things.
I'm gonna guess the reason that the tree bug woke up is because of the skull crawler,
Hmm.
not just because Chapman was sitting on it.
Yeah.
But then it cuts to, and I want you to talk about this. Nieves and Hank, their little when Hank's trimming his beard.
Oh, okay.
So Nieves is a pencil pushing scientist,
Yep. Hate him.
and Hank hates him so much because he's like so much about me, 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 me.
And, Hank's shaving his beard with, like, a rudimentary shiv.
Yeah.
And he's talking to Nieves, and he's like, I can't even tell if I'm talking. Are you talking right now? Why is your mouth moving? I'm gonna kill you in your sleep. And Nieves is like, Are you? And then he just starts smiling. He's like, No.
And then
And
he
then his
goes dead
smile,
face.
yeah, his smile disappears as he looks him coldly in the eyes while he's still shaving.
This- John C. This is some of John C. Riley's best work, I think. And like, you gotta take into account, uh, Step Brothers, of
Mhm.
course, and Guardians of the Galaxy. But I think this is some of his genuinely best acting
Oh,
because
absolutely.
he's playing the crazy guy, but he's also playing a really smart crazy guy. Um,
I just his character is one of my favorites.
mhm. And I would do kind of wish that they would bring up the characters in the other movies, so like we
Hmm.
kind of like know like what happened to some of them, or like maybe we get some more spin-offs that take place in like the 80s or later 70s, because obviously Mason and Conrad end up doing, I believe, doing more things with Monarch. I would
Hmm.
I would say maybe. Oops, sorry. Um,
Hey, don't do that.
yeah, I tried. Sorry. Um, but Conrad and Mason have a moment, and we learn that Conrad's dad was an RAF pilot in World War II, and he never came home. And Conrad looked up to him like he's John Wayne, like a big hero.
Hmm.
And and like he never, because Conrad never went home from the war, and so he's just kind of, I think he's just kind of lost.
Right.
which a lot of men do end up that way because of war. Um, and then it cuts to Packard just being insane now.
Yeah.
That like it's just gone. Like there is no coming back from like the mindset that he is on.
Mm-mm.
And it cuts back to Conrad's team. The Gray Fox lives.
And I love the work that they put on the Gray Fox to get it up and running.
Like the sheer amount of teamwork that everybody's putting into it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Even Nieves is helping. That's how
No.
good it is.
He didn't help during the initial part, just when it was ready to start up.
Mm-hmm. Then we finally make radio contact with Packard.
Mm-hmm.
And so we set up a rendezvous point. Everything's good. Caden, what happens next?
Everything's not good. Packard wants to keep going towards the Sea Stallion to get ammunition. Am I too far ahead?
Yes.
Okay. Never mind.
It involves Nieves.
Oh, yeah. Nieves gets wasted.
Not even
By
calling it a vacation on this
no,
one.
nope, not for him. There are there are birds.
They're
And
pterodactyl birds. It's like the only way we can really describe it.
no, I'm going to describe them. Hold on to your
Oh,
horses.
okay, okay.
So, Logan's right. They are like pterodactyl birds, but they're black to the wings and towards the feet, and then from the inner thigh, kind of
They're like
wigs.
yellow
Yeah, it's yellow.
with like raggedy beaks.
It was like a chainsaw almost.
Yeah,
Like a there was a type of shark that has that same
mhm.
nose,
I know what you're talking about.
like a buzzsaw shark or whatever. That's what those birds had for beaks. They were terrifying, and the first thing we see of them in the movie is Packard blowing the head off of one with his sniper rifle.
And it has blue blood, which I
Mhm.
thought was interesting.
Which I think most monsters do, aside from Kong.
The skull crawlers have greenish blood, I think.
Mudos have blue. Right?
Yeah. I think they just changed the color so they can have blood since they're PG-13 movies.
Every monster has blood.
Yeah. But no, this bird picks him up off the boat and proceeds to tear him into pieces.
Not just one, a whole flock of them, like 20.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
And the last thing we see is these little buzzbirds end up ripping his right leg off before it cuts away from him for good.
Yeah, and this is all on screen, but it is like in the shadow of the sun,
Mm-hmm.
so they're able to get away with it. But you were like, "Oh my gosh, you're doing this on camera." Okay.
And I just want to point out that these birds have to be ridiculously strong
Mm-hmm.
because there was no like tug back when his leg popped off.
Yeah.
It was just one swoop back and
Like-
his legs yeah, just
Yeah.
like that.
Insane.
It's like he was made of Legos.
Maybe.
I mean, granted, he did look kind of old.
He
so.
did. But now the survivors team up. They're all back together again. One big super team.
There we go.
And the search for Chapman begins.
Mm-hmm.
And excuse me. We get to Kong's parents' grave.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the coolest scenes in the movie. They have this dense smog around them. Fumes, smog, dust particles, gigantic skeletons. Ripe for oil farming in a scene. Don't give me that look. I'm going to make fun of modern culture.
By using it?
Yes. By using it wrong. But don't.
You're using it in the correct term. That's the problem.
Dang it. Anywho. But no, there are gas fumes. And we get a skull crawler attack.
Mm-hmm. And the first person it picks off is Randa.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this scene because
Randa has a camera.
Like Weaver, but his camera starts malfunctioning.
Because he has like a flash on it.
Mm-hmm. And so the skull crawler disappears into the fog. And the last the only way you can tell where it's at is through the flash of his camera in the stomach of the skull crawler.
And yeah, they set up like a 50 caliber gun. Skullcrawler makes easy work of that.
Not a problem. Didn't even dig into the skin of the skull crawler.
Hank has the samurai sword, and he's able to cut a chunk off of one of the Skullcrawlers.
He didn't cut a chunk. He went from the elbow all the way down to the arm. Deep tissue too.
I don't like that. Um, but Slivko is knocked out, and he has gas, like poison gas, in his bag.
Which ruptures.
And so Conrad grabs a gas mask and Hank's sword and does a slow-mo bird slicing sequence in green smoke.
I wasn't a fan of this sequence.
I feel like it could have been done better, I think. But with what we got, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then it sorry, jeez. What was I gonna say? I feel like there's some
Conrad.
I feel like something else happens in this sequence. Oh, the flamethrower.
Oh yeah.
There's a guy with a flamethrower, and the Skullcrawler just knocks him back into one of Kong's parents' skulls.
Oh, and that's the whole reason Slivko got knocked out.
Yes, that's right. But no, like the eyes and everything explodes. There's like flames coming out of Kong's parents' eyes,
And
it's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then we cut to Conrad and Slivko and Mason running away from a Skullcrawler.
Mm-hmm.
And Mason throws the lighter that she got from Conrad into the fumes and blows up the Skullcrawler.
And this kills it.
Surprisingly.
Skullcrawlers are like symbiotes. They're weak to fire, I guess.
They have tongues like symbiotes, so.
Which is really funny. Because the only thing that really affected the Skullcrawler was the flamethrower and the massive explosion.
That's true.
The sword to the elbow forearm combo didn't even seem to slow it down.
Anywho, we get Hank versus Packard.
Mm-hmm.
And Packard is like, you know what? Screw you. We're going to the Sea Stallion. I don't care. We're going to get Chapman. But one of the Skullcrawlers coughed up Chapman's dog tags.
Mm-hmm.
And Conrad's like, here he is. And so when I wrote down is I consider this the war with Kong begins.
Mm-hmm.
Because the two groups separate.
Civilians and military, as I have it.
And so Conrad's taking all of them to go back to the boat where the exfil is supposed to show up within a day, I believe.
24 hours.
And so Packard and them are going off to the Sea Stallion to get the stuff to kill Kong. Excuse me. Kong gets... So Mason and Conrad are trying to find the river.
Mm-hmm.
And you loved this scene. So it's foggy and cloudy.
Heavy fog.
And Kong just like materializes from within the fog.
But what you see first isn't him. It's the reflection from his eyes, like how dogs have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was so cool.
They do so much with his eyes in this movie because they have to humanize Kong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get into my thoughts on this kind of thing in later movies. But yeah, Packard starts his war.
Mm-hmm.
Drops more seismic charges. And Kong's like, dude, you mess with the wrong monkey. Not really. Sorry, we're experiencing technical difficulties. Your new host will be here soon. What's that look for? Disappointment? Disdain?
I'm gonna stab you. We'll
that's
call it there.
that's fair. Um, but Kong is in. Is it a river or is this a
It's a
lake?
river.
This a river?
It's just a very very wide river.
Yeah. Um, but they laced the river with napalm,
Mm,
and so
yummy.
Kong catches fire, kills a bunch of soldiers.
Yeah, because what he does is he swipes at the water and it throws the napalm at the soldiers.
Like, dude, you didn't think that could happen? But whatever. But King Kong becomes unconscious, and then the big skull crawler wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, Conrad is pretty much facing off with Packard saying, hey, this is it. It's done. Let's go. And so all of his soldiers pretty much turn on him at this point.
Yeah, because Packard's just completely lost it.
And so, because they're going to blow up Kong, they put like C4 all around him.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody runs from the skull crawler, and Kong kills Packard.
Before he can detonate.
Mm-hmm. And he's dropping one of his iconic Samuel L. Jackson, die, you mother, and he crushes him with his hands.
Yeah.
Because, Samuel L. Jackson just loves to say mofo all the time, all of his movies. Snakes on a Plane, any Quentin Tarantino movie that he's in. Just anything except Nick Fury, it feels like.
I'm sure he's done it as Nick Fury.
We just don't see it. It's behind closed doors. It's that time he had to watch Avengers Tower and he had to clean up after the superheroes. But Kong loses to the Skullcrawler.
Mm-hmm. And this is the adult scroll crawler.
Mhm.
It's massive.
It makes Kong look small.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody's on the run. Conrad tells Weaver to light a flare for Brooks and Sun Lee, who are on the boat, the Gray Fox. And so Conrad and the others are going to be a distraction. The character of Cole.
We haven't talked about him much.
Cole and Mills are best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And Cole goes to sacrifice himself by trying to blow up the Skullcrawler.
Mm-hmm.
Caden, what happens?
Not that. He starts walking towards the skull crawler with 2 grenades with the pins pulled out,
Mm-hmm.
and he's holding his arms up. And before he gets any closer, the skull crawler just swipes him away with his tail
And blows up a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, it's very sad because, like, as the movie goes on, you really care about the character
Mm-hmm.
because he's one of the more charming ones. But then we get Kong versus the Crawler. This is an epic final boss,
And
final battle.
I brought this up to you. I asked you, Kong or his parents couldn't take on a big skull crawler. How can he? And we started talking about it. Kong is much more resourceful than his parents probably ever were.
And he's bigger than his parents ever got to be.
Yeah, and Kong is still a child, technically.
They say he's an adolescent.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So like, Sandlin and Brooks show up with the boat and they have the minigun that's on the boat. They shoot the crawler. Kong gets an anchor and a chain. And so he starts
Not an anchor, a propeller.
a propeller and a chain, that's right.
Because he's thrown into
A
boat
boat.
wreckage, and he's kind of trapped underneath all the chains. And I like to think of this as like a little homage to the original movie.
Yeah.
Because just like in the original movie, he's restricted by so many chains, but he still manages to break out.
And so he uses this propeller and chain like a Mortal Kombat weapon Just like throws it at the skull crawler and just like yanks him back in by the shoulder blade. And,
It's so cool.
Mason shoots a flare into the eye of the skull crawler.
And that must have had to have hurt.
Ugh. Then Kong saves Mason Weaver because she's knocked into a river, and he like holds her in his hand, and then proceeds to rip out the intestines of the skull crawler with that hand.
Because for some reason the Skullcrawler wasn't dead and decides to go back after Kong again.
By wrapping his tongue around Kong's arm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
The big Skullcrawler is hollow inside now.
I would say that's the goriest part of the entire movie. Just watching it just vomit out its intestines.
It wasn't even that he vomited out the
They
intestines.
just fell out.
Ripped out. All connected from the tongue.
I'm bleh. They can keep that.
That was a very cool sequence, though.
Oh, absolutely. And meanwhile, the entire time, Mason's still in Kong's fist. Somehow. But then we get another eye shot as everybody gets off the island, and you see the helicopters in the distance. Hank gets to see his family that he hadn't seen because he got married a week before he got deployed.
No. He had I don't remember the time frame, but he was married and then a day after he got deployed, his son was born.
Something like that, yeah. But he finally gets to see his family, and they waited for him.
Which that was one of the sad parts for me. Because he said, I don't care if they waited for me or not. I just want to see them one last time. And I'm like, they probably didn't wait for him.
Then you were surprised.
I was very happy.
And then we get a post-credit scene saying that there are other monsters out there.
Mm-hmm.
And this post-credit scene is to set up Godzilla, King of the Monsters. But if you watch it like that, it does set up 2014 because the first image is just Godzilla. So you can take it like that. But yeah. So that is Kong Skull Island.
Yeah, all right.
A first solid entry in the MonsterVerse.
Technically.
Technically. I think
it's
it's still the first strong in installation in the MonsterVerse.
Technically, it's the first installation. Realistically, it's the second installation.
I think it's the first good one. I'm not saying I hate 2014 Godzilla. It's not as strong as this movie.
Yeah.
Anything you... Oh.
We can get into that in our next episode.
Yes.
Do
we have any questions?
Do you have any questions?
Do you think Packard's whole thing is because of Kong, or do you think it's aggressiveness because of the whole war situation?
I think to some extent it's PTSD. Because most of those men were people he had spent several years with, undoubtedly.
Mm-hmm.
And watching at least 10 of them die within 2 minutes would absolutely shatter a man.
Yeah, because like he's very much a man who lives for the war.
Mm-hmm.
So like a life without war is just like a death to him. So like I do think he wants revenge, yes, but it gives him purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of like what's like wrong up here. But yeah. Do you have any questions?
I do not.
Okay.
I can say for certainty, most of the MonsterVerse, I will not have any questions.
I guess I gotta do more work, I guess. Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. Like I already said, most of my interest goes towards the monsters, not the humans.
Right. That's fair. I guess next week we will be talking about Godzilla.
King of the Monsters!
No. If you want to do that, listen to the season 1 episode.
Yeah, that was a pretty good
We're
episode.
not doing re-reviews again. Ever. We're not those kind of people.
But no, as Logan said, the movie next we'll be talking about is the first official MonsterVerse movie, Godzilla 2014.
And that will be next week.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, I am Logan Thomas.
I'm Caden Green.
And this has been
The Real Bros Podcast.
See you guys next week.
Yeah.